Harley-Davidson is a manufacturer of heavyweight motorcycles for experienced riders. You've had to get that experience on different brands of motorcycles. You couldn't get it on a Harley because up until now, the smallest bike they made was an 883, and that was too big for the learner approved motorcycle scheme. So Harley's now introducing the Street 500. It's a really important bike for the brand because it means that you can start on a Harley, and then when you've got confidence, when you want to, when you can afford it, you can move to a bigger Harley. To build a 500cc bike aimed at that learner commuter market, Harley's had to move offshore. They couldn't manufacture these in the USA and still put them on the street at $10,000 as they have in Australia. So these bikes are coming out of Asia, in this particular case India. Like almost every major manufacturer, they're building them in multiple places. These are international companies. So what do you get for your $10,000? Well, you get a liquid-cooled V-twin engine, 4-valve heads. It looks like it's air-cooled with the engine finning the way it's been done, but it's actually not. Conventional forks, twin shocks. It's not a fancy motorcycle, really. But it's a very honest motorcycle. It's fairly raw. Steel chassis, traditional Harley style tank, modern controls, and a very easy bike to ride and manoeuvre. Now the riding position on the new Street 500 is very good. It's not forward, which would be out here, and it's not back, which was here. It's right in the middle, which is a fairly good compromise. It's a quite comfortable riding position. And also I think that's really confidence inspiring. Now, if you pick the bike up off that, your feet do get in the way a little bit of the foot pegs, but you get used to that after a few days. So from that perspective, it works really well. Handlebars, similar story. They're not really high and they're not low, they're just very comfortable. This bike, you can ride it at speeds, up to freeway speeds, and you don't really feel like you're getting blown off the back. Of course, it's only got this tiny little cowling, so it's not giving you any weather protection at all, but that's okay. On a summer's day like today, there's nothing better than being out on a bike set up like the Street 500. At the back of the bike, we've got twin shocks, fairly basic, adjustable down the bottom here for spring preload. So if you're carrying a passenger or you're a bit heavier, you can adjust them up a bit heavier towards the tight end. And if you're a bit of a lighter rider, you can pull them back and soften them up. At the back here, you can carry a passenger. They've got a strap, but the pillion accommodation's not massive, but it's a lot better than a lot of learner bikes that are out there. The instrumentation on the Street 500 is pretty basic. It's just a single dial for speed, and inside that is a small LCD for trip meters and your odometer. There's a few idiot lights there, but that's about it. Would have been good to see a gear indicator light for learners to show what gear you're in, but unfortunately they haven't even done that. Very, very basic. Also up here near the top of the bike is a lockable fuel cap, and that's a very rare thing on a Harley-Davidson, but it shows that Asian and foreign markets demand fuel security. Now Harley-Davidson's produced a lot of accessories and options for this machine. Some of them are on this bike. This is a test bike supplied by Harley. This wheel is not standard. It's an optional accessory, as are these metal hand grips and the foot pegs, the brake pedal there, and the tip on the back of the exhaust pipe. That's not standard either. So keep in mind, this bike's been optioned up a little bit, but you can buy all these parts from your Harley dealer to make it look like this if you wish to. The Street 500 is built for urban use. It really suits the urban hipster, somebody who might want to modify their bike up. I mean, straight out of the crate, you won't mind riding it. It looks really nice, but it really does suit changing it, modifying it, getting into the Harley catalogue, maybe even taking it to a custom bike builder and making it your own. And once it is your own, you'll really enjoy getting it around the city, getting through the suburbs and enjoying life on the road even when you're stuck in traffic, it's still a lot of fun to ride. So the urban hipsters will love it, and they'll love bringing it to places like this, the Red Baron Lounge Bar, a new place that's opened up in Newcastle, which is where Cycle Talk's produced. When we came here, we loved the look of the place, and we think this bike and this style of life is what this machine's all about. But you're not going to buy a Street 500 just because it's a good commuter or a good urban bike. You're going to buy it because it stirs your soul. And certainly, Street 500 will do that, especially when you modify it up and make it your own. So I think it really does address that target market. It's the right bike, the right price, for the right audience. I think as that audience gets a little older, they'll be back to their Harley dealer, they'll be throwing their leg over a Fat Boy or a Sportster, having a good look, and wondering, is it better on a bigger bike? But in the meantime, for that first few years, I think the Street 500 will be a very satisfying ride. The March issue of Cycle Talk magazine features the full test of the Harley-Davidson Street 500. You can also get more information from harleydavidson.com.au. They're priced at $9,995 right away, and they're available in 3 colours.